Add stalls to the previously built seam. We're preparing materials in the above dimensions. Assemble the cargo frame first. Use a craft knife to cut slots at the preset positions. Let them interlock to form a grid. Then assemble the table. Connect both sides of the table with 4 crossbeams. Lay the tabletop. Don't worry about the rough edges. They add detail. Insert the grid into the cargo frame. Add a strip of wood to one end of the tabletop. This allows the cargo frame to tilt toward the customer. Next, I'll show another way to make a stall. Also assemble as shown in the image. Join to 15 mm strips with a 2 mm overlap. At these 5 points, connect both sides with crossbeams. Place the cargo frame. Now we have a tiered style stall. Since you've mastered the harder ones, aren't the simpler stalls a piece of cake for you? Mix red walnut color to paint the stalls. While the paint is wet, apply diluted black pigment to stain. Due to moisture, the black blends naturally into the surface. Then use a tissue to wipe off excess black pigment. You can see the result is quite nice. To make a sunshade, I prepared a piece of white cloth and a sheet of sticker paper. Stick the paper flatly onto the cloth. Trim off the excess parts. Print the pre-designed pattern. The sunshade frame can be adjusted to the size you need. Then cut the canopy according to the frame. When peeling the cloth from the adhesive, don't start from the laced edge. Always start from the straight edge. Draw a line with pencil along the lace side. Place a spare wood strip as a guide along the line. Then align the support frame against the guide. Remove the guide strip. Then flip the support frame. This ensures the frame stays level with the lace edge. Gently pinch the lace to create a natural drooping look. Stick the fixed rod in place too. This gives the canopy a natural downward curve. Trim the edges a bit. Use instant glue to trace lightly along the edges. This prevents the fabric from fraying. Now attach the canopy wherever you like. Under the pole there's usually a wood block for support, just like in real life. I added canopies to all stalls that are against the wall. Next is making the goods. We'll start with potatoes. I used white resin clay mixed with ochre yellow pigment. Since I used acrylic paint, the color on my hands can be washed off easily with water. Take an appropriate amount and shape it like a potato. Let them dry completely. Brush surface with pastel powder. No need to make it too even, because that's how it looks naturally. Now compare with the uncolored potato. Doesn't it look way better? Change to purple clay and you can make eggplants. Shape them just like before. Slightly bend them before they dry. Then cut the tip off a toothpick. Add darker purple clay at the tip. Trim the top excess. Then trim the bottom excess. Now use a craft knife to carve out the stem shape diagonally. It's tiny, this will test your patience. So take your time. Once fully dry, trim off a small piece from the end. Attach the stem. Now we've got a small eggplant. Lemon yellow clay, of course, is for making lemons. When kneading, try to make both ends slightly thinner, because lemons naturally prefer to be pointy at both ends. Once all the lemons are dry, put them into a small container. Then add a small amount of light green pastel powder. Shake to coat the lemons evenly. This gives the lemon surface a more layered color look. Making oranges is very simple, just roll into small balls. Then lightly dot some green on one end, and it's done. Use the leftover orange clay to make pumpkins. Roll the clay into a ball and press slightly to shape it. Then gently pinch along the already visible curves. To make the shape look more natural, Then poke a hole at one end with a thick needle. After about 5 minutes, the surface becomes slightly dry. Use a clay knife to carve lines from bottom to top. Be careful when using this kind of tool, don't hurt yourself. Then find a dried plant in your backyard. Cut a small piece and insert it into the hole. A cute pumpkin is now done. Cucumbers are also one of the easiest items to make. Just roll the clay into a long strip. Next is making green apples. Take an appropriate amount and roll into a ball. Then use a silicone pen to poke small holes at both ends. Also find some dried grass in the backyard. Insert it into one of the holes to make the stem. Looks kind of like it now, right? Then trim the stem to a proper length. Looks even more realistic now, right? Alright, if you can make green apples, red ones are a breeze. Vermilion resin clay, you're probably thinking of tomatoes. That's right, tomatoes are even easier, just one hole needed. But you need to draw a tomato calyx around the hole. Roll dark red resin clay into thin strips. Cut to the desired length. Gently shape both ends. Sausages are done too. Now use translucent resin clay and tint it into the colors shown. Press each color into thin sheets. In this order: deep red, cream yellow, orange red, cream yellow, and burnt sienna. Layer them in this order. Then press again to the ideal thickness. Trim the edges. As you can see, the cross-section now resembles raw meat. Keep cutting into meat slices. And bend them while still soft to mimic real bacon, so it looks more authentic. Once completely dry, the translucent clay will show its effect. Now just brush some black pastel powder lightly over the surface to give a smoked look. And the bacon is done. Use the leftover buttery yellow clay to make cheese. It's very simple. After drying, cut off a corner. So the shape looks more realistic. For sauces, you don't need clay. Cut a 3 mm acrylic rod into 5 mm segments. Then drill a hole in the center using a 1.5 mm bit. Be careful not to drill through, leave about 1 mm. If you can find acrylic tubes, you can skip this step. Obviously, I didn't find any. Paint yellow inside the hole. Then paint the undrilled end to look like a cap. But I think using the same color isn't ideal. So I made the cap color darker, and it looks much better. For colors, I suggest red for ketchup, yellow for mustard, green for herb sauce. We can also create some plants. Here's a withered little dandelion. Trim off the petals. And it becomes a small mushroom. To make flour, mung bean flour, soybean flour. Add tension-free glue into a container. Then sprinkle plaster powder on top. Once dry, shake off the excess powder. Add the color you want, and it's done. Some model shops sell fine-colored sand. For example, yellow sand can simulate cane sugar, and white sand can simulate salt. Use polymer clay to make figures about 35 mm tall. Since it's so small, I can only shape the rough form. Start by rolling the head into a ball. Then make a slightly smaller cone for the upper body. And a slightly larger cone for the lower body. Use wire to fix both upper and lower body parts together. Add a bit more clay to shape the neck. Use a scraper to gently connect each part. And refine the overall shape. For the head, a light pinch like this. Creates a chin. Attach it to the body. Then carve some folds on the lower body to represent a skirt. Use a heat gun to evenly bake the surface for 30 seconds, so you can touch the surface without damaging it. Take 2 small clay strips to make arms. Pose them into a gesture. Flat tweezers can shape the palm roughly. Then take a thin sheet and wrap the head, shape it lightly to form a headscarf. After 30 minutes of baking, the figure is fully dried. Now paint it with your favorite colors. I also suggest making more figures in different poses. Placing the goods is simple, just add tension-free glue. After drying, you won't see any glue marks at all. Now arrange all stalls and goods as you like. And don't forget to add figures to bring the scene to life. At this point, I've finished making stalls and goods and integrated them into the whole scene. Next, I'll guide you through the final scene detailing stage. If you enjoy my video, please like, subscribe, and share my video, and hit the bell icon. Your support is my greatest motivation. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.